Welcome to the MJ and Pippin show, the Queensland racing preview in all seriousness. Curls, it's been a big week. Sounds like it's been a wet week up in Queensland. What is going on up north, brother?
Yeah, it's strange. There hasn't been that much rain where I am anyway.
You must have had a heap.
Yeah, you'd think so from the way, even, we haven't had we haven't had enough rain to cause the dramas and commotions that we've had over the last 3 weeks, that's for sure. We're in a bit of strife here in southeast Queensland because, the BRC built Eagle Farm 3 times in 3 years and no other tracks have got any funds left to help. So we just have to try and work around what we've got dished up to us.
So what do you think that the Gold Coast track needs a complete upgrade as well?
Yes, it does. And no knock on the Gold Coast Turf Club doing a good job with what they've got. That's for sure. The track does deteriorate when there is any moisture in it. A great example of that track is when they give it 3 weeks off at the springtime, like the bit of warmth in the air and a bit of sun. And, when that track comes back after a few weeks hiatus, it races brilliantly. So it's a good track. It's just, it races, normally it races every Saturday as the provincial meeting, on a Saturday. So it does get a hell of a lot of work and it's a good betting track. I like to bet down there and it's just a shame that we can't look after these tracks a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm sure that you've enjoyed the little bit of rest. And I guess the big news from, Mailbag headquarters is I'm going to step aside or take a little break from the Queensland Metro product. I've got a pretty full book of, commercial interest for the Mailbag, for Little Birdie. There's various people wanting more live streams, which would be great content for the punters at home. So Curls is going to slip into the Queensland Saturday Metro tipping, and I'm happy to go out on a little bit of a high last week with time at big odds, but I won't be missing James Orman. I thought he slaughtered Nick Over, which is one of my better bets for the card last week. So a little bit of that anxiety will leave me. In terms of the subscribers this week, they'll get Doomben for free on the provincial set, but as of next week, there'll be a couple of changes mentioned in the email this week. And if you want all curly or just his provincial or just his Saturday, the choice is yours. But it's going to be great. I'm going to still do the videos every week with Curls. I'm going to still keep my eye on Queensland racing just to make sure Curls isn't telling any fibs and hold his hand a little bit in the Metro setups and things like that. So, you'll still get the same sort of service, if not better. But, the entertainment factor's not going anywhere. So
there's a little I think you've undersold your last week there. $80 that winner that you've tossed up as SP on Betfair. $80 winner. It's like winning a championship and just saying, I'm going to go and tackle something else for a little bit.
Go play baseball. Jerry Krause moment. But let's kick enough of the dribble. Let's talk about Doomben. You think you've found, let's call it a moral, in race 1 at Doomben on Saturday. It's very short though, $1.60. How wonderful life is.
Yeah, look, it's just one of those cases of, best horse, best map, great, good training, trainer-jockey combo. So, probably the best placed horse anywhere in Queensland this weekend. It drops back from, the Mick Dittman plate last start at Eagle Farm. I think we had something small. Give it a hope, but it got beat a length and a quarter behind Aquitaine. Last start, the start before it resumed on a heavy track and won pretty comfortably at the Gold Coast. So, it goes to a Class 3 race here. The kick-off proceedings on Saturday. There's a couple of horses that might want to be really quick out and go and try and find the fence with their normal racing patterns who are questionable 1100. So from gate 3, this horse just sits third one off the fence, stalks the speed and will be too strong for them over the last 400. So it's just a good thing. It's short, but look, it's not really about the price here for me. It's about what I rated it and what price I can currently get. So to me, it still looks a little bit of value at the $1.60. Okay. Some people might think that sounds a bit silly, but It's only what price available versus your rated price to determine whether it's value or not to you. The value is in the eye of the beholder, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree completely. Bailey still got a stay of proceedings after his controversial ride on Vega One, who was actually a really good run in the Stradbroke, his grand final. So, what can you update us on? What do you know about the Bailey Nordra situation up in Queensland?
One of a couple of situations that have made headlines, and we might have seen on some various racing sites or Twitter. A couple of senior jocks have come out swinging regarding the rules and the current system, where you can get charged, found guilty, and suspended, and still appeal that sentence. Firstly, through Quebec, through the stewards, and then if you lose that, you can then appeal to QCAT. So I suppose from a Victorian point of view, taking everything to VCAT on appeal, and they can ride in the meantime until that appeal's heard. Obviously, Bailey's indiscretion is well publicised. He's fighting that. So, we'll continue to ride until that's heard at QCAT. And I'm not sure what sort of delays that this COVID sort of period has sort of injected into the process, but I'd imagine it'll be months. It could be, well into the year until he gets his chance to be heard. Also, Luke Tarrant's another one. I think it was well publicised that Luke gave Larry Cassidy a headbutt after a race. I think he's appealing that as well. So it's interesting the process up here. But I suppose you can.
It's still in Victoria. Like Ben Mellum's still riding, and things seem to just drag on. Like it's a real funny situation. Speaking of drag on, you got Pretty in Pink with the Party Drag Ice Through It system. I read from last year's Winter Carnival. It's just unfathomable that you'd think that 12 months on, this is an ongoing process.
Look, it is, and like this, I really feel this will be a catalyst for change in Queensland. So, participants have been dealing with this for ever since the introduction of Quebec and how that system works. There's still trainers training on stay of proceedings, from cobalt charges that go back 3 years that still haven't been heard. It's like that they're using this integrity as a political football. You've seen Robert Heathcote kick it out of the park with his integrity concerns a few weeks ago, the headlines that heard and, that created. This is now a leading Sydney trainer, John O'Shea, and a leading breeder in Sedgenho that have affected. Now it's affected a couple of the big dogs and not the regular Queensland participant. I think this could be a big catalyst for change. It's a broken system. It certainly needs to be fixed for the benefit of all participants, and hopefully this does force something. But it's racing in Queensland is so tied politically. We're not going to see any change until an election, and then from there it's a matter of who wins and who gets in, and it's just a complete shit show. And unless PVL comes up here and runs for Premier, it'll continue to be a shit show.
Yeah, I hope you haven't lost that shirt. Let's get back on the racing. The Phoenix is probably the next interesting race to look at. Race 5, 1600 metre race. The rail's out too. I think we forgot to sort of talk about that, or 2.5 metres.
Probably soft 6-7. I'm tipping too.
Yeah, it's a funny one when 2-year-olds step to 1600 for the first time. It's a monster step for a lot of horses, but specifically 2-year-olds. I think it's an open and an even race. I thought the horse that I like coming off that big track form was Outburst. It's got Brad Stewart on it. The Sydney horse should be undefeated. I thought it was really good. It was wide. It ran on. It might have just knocked up a little bit late, and probably was entitled to. But they've booked the right rider, and I think it'll map in a good position from barrier 5. That was the obvious lean for me, and I could just find little chinks in a few other runners. But again, it's a tricky race given we don't know a lot about these horses at the distance. I think for the subscribers, I tipped out Kefalonia last start from the Munciard at big odds. I think I had a couple or half unit or something on it last start. I thought it was definitely a horse that would appreciate the mile, but I just don't know if it can run as fast as the others, obviously. But what was your read on the Phoenix?
Yeah, I think, there's probably two horses there. I think the Actuary is one of them. You're sort of trying to find horses that are looking for a mile, and to do that, you need to sort of to look at their sectionals and how they look through the line, running right through the line. I think this horse is potentially one of them. Cosmic Gossip's an interesting one. It takes up a fair bit of percentage in the market, around that $4 quote currently. I suppose it comes through that, comes through the obvious form reference that people look for in these sorts of races. It's come through that JJ Atkins where it got back and looked to hit the line okay from back in the field. It was okay through the line, I suppose. Not convinced it. The other thing that we've probably got to work on too is the track conditions, and like you mentioned, Outburst is was a soft 7 when beaten on debut at Muswellbrook, but still raced well enough. And then its last start wins. Last start winner from Scone, like you said, big track and ran well. I suppose you've got to take some pedigree into account here as well. For horses that are looking to get to a mile, it's by real impact, so it's got to be a tick for that. So yeah, small things like that, like you say, it's a little bit of it's a little bit more complicated of a puzzle when you're trying to find a horse that can get the mile. So I think the Actuary and the Outburst were the sort of two that I settled on that I could be confident of running a strong enough mile here at this stage. And it's really a matter of wait and see. It's race 5, it's Doomben, it's a little bit of moisture around. How favourable is it to the leaders and that sort of thing as well is sort of what you've got to assess as the day goes on, for sure.
And in the last race, you found a horse that you liked, the 1100 metre event, the Open Handicap. And what were your early thoughts here?
Well, early thoughts are just purely flashback to the Little Birdie Stratosphere when we were on Ozark, and it's missed the kick and settled last the fence and ran second. That's my first thoughts on the race.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look past it. Trying to look past the result. I sort of mapped some decent tempo here. We're probably going to be getting similar price Ozark in this to what we were last time. And look, what I found from that meeting at Eagle Farm last time is, I'd certainly had Ozark as disadvantaged in run. Sort of anticipate that he can settle a little bit closer here if he doesn't miss the start. If he begins evenly, he maps in a much better spot. There's plenty of speed, Spurcraft, Fiery Heights, Mashani Hustler, Connoisseur, capable horses. Jamie Lady, I think he's a scratching from its wide gate. So just hoping that Ozark can step and from the gate, it'll find a nice position just forward to midfield and be a chance to get over the top of these. If it runs up to its last start performance, it can with a closer settling position can be hard to beat.
I think Duplessis would be okay for this horse, and going off its last 2 starts, the run behind Usmanov was really solid as well. So I think you're on the right track there. There are a couple of different dangers, but I guess that's why you get a good each way price. All right, Curls. Yeah. What is there any racing on Sunday?
No.
You got Dalby. A little bit of Dalby on Saturday. You might be able to find
Dalby Saturday. Yeah, Dalby Saturday. So we're recording this Thursday and Friday, sorry, and I've already sent the feelers out to my to the Dalby diehards to find out how the track's going to look. Now, I think Dalby had 3 mils of rain leading into its last meeting, and it was called off. There's one section of the track at Dalby that pulls a bit of water, so they're assuring everyone that they'll be racing this week. So hopefully that's right. Done a fair bit of work on the Dalby card. We'll certainly be betting there, no question about that. no listed races or group races to discuss in any depth out at Dalby this week, but there is a benchmark 75. There's a benchmark 75,000 for $9.5 to the winner, which will be the fast class race of the day. I'll be looking forward to that.
Beautiful. This is it's a bit of a quiet meeting at Doomben this Saturday, but I think there's a couple of Group 3 races the following week, and although it's a little bit of a whimper or a lesser quality carnival, I think what is it? The Wink Skinnies Day completes in mid-July, so it's about July the 11th. You get good racing up in Queensland until. Sorry?
Yeah, we do. It's not Wink Skinnies Day. It's Glasshouse Day.
The Glasshouse Handicap.
The Wink Skinnies is one of the races on the card, but it's definitely
the Sunshine Coast Skinnies. Oh, right. No. Come on, Fun Police. Haven't you got a win photo on the wall?
Yeah, I won that in a raffle, so I'll be donating that to charity.
The Grinch. I'm going to start calling it the Grinch. You get a couple of cancelled meetings because of the track condition and a little bit of pitter patter, and the toys have come out of the cocktails. I want you up and at 'em Saturday morning to talk in depth with me on Doomben, and let's pick a couple of roughies out for the punters at home. And
yeah, we will be. I'm looking forward to that. I did throw the toys out of the cot this morning when I heard the Gold Coast was off. I was just, after yesterday, we're on in the last at Warwick yesterday. The subs were on the Villain at a really good price. I think it was $9 or $10. And after the second last race, it shortened up, into about $5. It was $5 top sport, and I thought, how good's this? We're shopping massive overs, and just everything pans out perfect for this bit of moisture. Get to the outside, drawing an outside gate, good job. It's just a matter of how far it wins by. And then I had a couple picked out for today as well, so I was a little bit antsy about it, but it's just nice to wake up and nice to sort of had a bit of a PT session this morning, and then I realised that Kilcoy's on Monday as well, so it just sort of warmed my heart a little bit. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so to recap, your best, how wonderful life is in race 1, Doomben, and then, in race 9, we got Ozark. So happy punting. I'm going to step aside for the great man. It really feels like I'm playing with Jordan, and you'll see lots of me on the Mailbag videos regardless, and good luck on the weekend punting. Good luck, girls.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.